Hello everybody and welcome to the J72 gaming channel. My name is Jacob. Well, let me take these off. My name is Jacob, but you can just call me Jay here. And today, it's me. It's the face reveal time. I was never really hiding it on purpose. I just never had one of these. Never really had a good webcam that made it worthwhile for me to actually record with it. So here I am. Hello! The reason, guys, that I'm actually doing this face reveal is because I'm planning to do this a little bit more. I'm wanting to add face cam to some of the videos, and I'm going to try to stream a little bit more. I've said this a lot of times that I am the type of person that prefers video editing and kind of being behind the scenes, but I'm not against showing my face. I'm not against streaming and kind of having you guys interact with me and all that jazz, so I am looking forward to that. But I also want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays for all of you out in America or wherever you are in the world, whatever you're celebrating. Let's change this and make it a little bit more festive, shall we? There we go. Little festive cheer for today. Now, guys, today I wanted to kind of celebrate 1 full year here on the J72 gaming channel. We are approaching 3,000 strong, which is awesome. I never really thought I would get this far, honestly. I've said in a previous video where I kind of explained why I started, but I'll you know, reiterate and replicate that here. Basically, when COVID hit, I lost my job, and I was sitting around for about a year, pretty much doing nothing, and really wanted something to kind of spend my time, you know, being productive. And so I made this YouTube channel, and a year later we're still going strong, and I found out that I really enjoy doing this. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are here, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying stuff. So to kind of celebrate stuff, I got some announcements at the end of the video, so stick around for that. But until then, I asked you guys on the community channel and my Discord, the Sauropod Squad Discord, some questions, so I'm here to answer those. I also just want to say, like, this is the first time using this. I don't know if I should look here, if that's weird, if I should look here, if I should look there, I should blind myself by looking in the lights. I'll figure it out. Also, got my lifelong stuffed animal. Had this guy since I was a young kid. This is J72, more or less. This is the mascot. So he's a homie, and you guys have no idea how hard it was to get that get those glasses to stay. So I don't want to touch anything. That's risky for sure. All right, guys, so let's dive into the Q&A. I've got all the questions up here, and I'm just going to kind of read them in order as I see them. And I don't really think there's any here that I don't want to answer, so I'm going to answer all your guys' questions. So first up here by, how do you say that? Torvo Faganax. We'll go with that. He asks, what introduced you to dinosaurs, and what age were you then? He actually asks a lot of questions, but we've got time today, so we're gonna go through all of them. So, what introduced me to dinosaurs? Honestly, a lot of you guys might have already guessed it, but it was Land Before Time, and specifically Littlefoot. It is the main reason why I love sauropods and dinosaurs as a whole, right? I grew up in Indiana, and had my grandma watching me a lot. She would put on Land Before Time and VeggieTales, but mainly Land Before Time as well. And yeah, really just, you know, formed my love for dinosaurs, and that's lasted until I was an adult. I often, you know, if you asked like 6-year-old me, like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would say I want to be a paleontologist. And I ended up going to college to study ornithology, which is birds, and birds are essentially dinosaurs. So kind of went there. So it's on my career now, which can actually lead into our next question. Jumping over here to the Discord area of the Q&A, we have Sauropod, or Doomscorp, one of my moderators. He asked, what was your career before COVID? So yeah, going into that kind of question is when I finished college. I kind of bounced around to a few jobs, trying to get into the ornithology field and zoology in general. Realistically, it's very competitive, which is unfortunate. So I wasn't quite able to really get anything in those careers, and kind of found that I love the animals and studying it, but not necessarily the jobs and careers that revolve around ornithology. So that had me bouncing around to a few things, and I won't get into my whole resume, right? But the last job I had before COVID hit was working at a company called Card Kingdom, where we worked with Magic the Gathering cards. I'm a huge Magic the Gathering fan, Magic the Gathering fan, MTG fan, and card games in general. I really like all strategy games, and you guys might have seen that on some of the videos here on the channel. So yeah, that's what I was doing then, and then unfortunately COVID hit, and they gutted my department completely. It wasn't even like, hey Jacob, you're laid off. It was like the products team gone, not even part of the Card Kingdom anymore. So that was kind of unfortunate. But hey, push comes to shove, blessing in disguise. I'm here now doing some YouTube stuff, and yeah, moving forward with that. So excited to say that. Jumping back over to Torvo Fenganax's question. I think I got it better that time. For how long did you play the Isle Legacy, and what's your opinion on the progression mode? So I joined Isle, the first time I ever played it was after progression, and it was, I think it was 2017, hard to say exactly. It was about a year or maybe a year and a half before they announced Evrima. So yeah, I played it for like, I don't know, 2 years before Evrima came around. And then you guys should check out, if you haven't seen, the Isle Legacy versus Evrima video that I've made, where I really discuss kind of my differences and opinions on those two. But more or less, I really prefer Evrima because of the phasing. I don't like the phasing through in Legacy. It just bothers me. The combat doesn't feel as good, amongst other things. So anyway, that's answers that, I hope. His next question is, what Evrima addition / update are you most looking forward to? Honestly, it was diets. But now that diets are here, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's, yeah, the diets, I think, are leaving a little bit to be desired. The idea about diets is fantastic. I think the main issue that they have right now is that they don't really have all the plants that you need everywhere in the map, right? So you're kind of forced to mainly be in the center of the map. So it's not necessarily diets' fault. It's mainly the placement of the diets and placements of the plants around the world that kind of is lackluster. It's missing a little bit. And Torvo's last question here is, and finally, have you ever gotten into collecting dinosaur models and toys? No, I don't collect dinosaur models and toys. I do have my stuffed animal here, front and center, but I'm not really much of a collector as far as dinosaur toys go. I do have a pretty large geek collection of Pokemon stuff and Star Wars stuff and superhero stuff, so maybe someday I can show that off to you guys. It's over there. A little bit hard to move the camera, but a big wall over there of a bunch of cool stuff. So I do collect those things, but not so much dinosaur stuff. Okay, next up is the True Alex, who asks, Brontosaurus versus Apatosaurus. Why Bronto over Apato? Probably already knows. My answer is Bronto. And are they different? They're not so much different, more than I've just felt attached to Bronto forever. Mainly because of the first question, Littlefoot. So that goes for that. Favorite dino to play in any game? So that's an interesting question, because I'm finding that I have a different answer based off which game it is. So the Isle Legacy, I loved playing Dilo. Running around at night and being really quick, it was a lot of fun. So I really prefer Dilo when it comes to Legacy. Evrima, Pteranodon. I'm learning that I love flying around, and it's just kind of relaxing, you know what I mean? So I really enjoy Pteranodon. And as far as Path of Titans go, it's a mix between Struthiomimus, the speedy boy, mainly because I can get around, I can do whatever I want, and I don't really have to worry about too many enemies attacking me as long as I'm paying attention. But also Sarco. I'm learning that with the new growth update, I'm spending a lot of time with the Sarco, and it's really good just to kind of pull back, relax, you know what I mean, for a little bit. So yeah, Sarco. The True Alex then asks, which dino you wish to be added, and any fun mechanics you give it. I want to see more sauropods in every game that we have, every dino game. It doesn't seem that sauropods are very easy to balance, which is why they're not in many games, I think. But I do want to see them in many more games. I do know Path of Titans has one planned. And you know, we've got the Magiosaurus plan for Evrima as well, but we haven't seen them and haven't really messed with them too much, so I would love to see them. As far as their mechanics go, I don't know, them kind of being the big lumbering giants that can't really die to many things kind of is a mechanic in its own, so I don't know, I'd have to think more about that as far as a mechanic go, but good question. Sure, Alex also asks, what do you do / want to do for a living outside of YouTube? So harping back on that career question that Doomscorp asked, currently unemployed, but I am currently paying the bills here with YouTube, as well as door dashing here and there to help pay those bills. So thanks for asking. And a big ticket item on my Christmas wish list. So my big Christmas wish list item is kind of boring, but I ended up getting a cycling machine, and have been using that to work out. Kind of a boring adult answer, I guess, but Yeah, my cycling machine, I got it, and it's pretty nice. So yeah. And he concludes by saying, "Thanks for the awesome content and happy holidays." Thanks, Alex. Happy holidays to you too. Next up, we have Hazy. He asks, "When the Isle is finished, will you play it more than Path of Titans?" Good question. Honestly, gonna play them both. I've played both of them pretty much equally, and they fluctuate based on the update. So now that we have the growth update, I'm kind of playing Path of Titans a little bit more, I'll be real. But if they fix those issues I was talking about with the diet update, then I might play Eurema a little bit more. So it goes back and forth, but genuinely, honestly, I'm not trying to skirt the question or anything. I play them both equally. Nail Goodwin asks, "What is your favorite part of the Isle new map update 4? His is the new lake. The new lake I call the Oasis. It's pretty good. I think it's a little bit too open. It's good for dinos and kind of like, I guess, big stegos. It's good for like apex predators to walk up. But honestly, my favorite area has always been in the southwest, the swamp. But they haven't updated that section. So that's the same in 4 as it is 3. So yeah, I think to answer your question, my favorite new change for update 4 is going to have to be the coast. The western coastline looks amazing. And if you actually want to get even more specific, all the way at the south end of that area is the waterfall that falls down from the radio tower and into that little pool. That spot's primo. Very secluded, and you can definitely kind of nest there once nesting comes out. It should be pretty cool. Pilot Bruh 57 asks real quick, "What is your favorite dino out of all?" This guy, Brontosaurus. Play on Turds, fun name. He says, "Happy YouTube birthday." Thank you, and happy birthday to all of us, because you guys all made this happen, and it's really a celebration for all of us, not just me and the channel. So yeah, happy birthday to all of us. Patrick 3183 asks, "Are you gay or bi?" I am straight, but I grew up in San Francisco and have been around the LGBTQT, I always say those wrong. I've been around the bi and gay community my entire life. So I've got many friends. I've had roommates that were bi, lesbian roommates, stuff like that. So I'm very inclusive on this channel, and will never insult anyone for their sexual orientation, their gender, their race, all that stuff. So it's all good with me, man. All right, back over to some of the Discord questions. We have Finnegan, my admin here on the Discord server. Also, side note, Finnegan, if you're watching, thanks for everything you do, man. Everyone, give a round of applause for Finn. He's killing it on the Discord side of things with the bots and the channels and everything. Love to see it, man. It's really helpful. Thank you, genuinely. Anyway, his question is, favorite non-Sauropod Morphic dino? And that's a good question. I actually had to think about this for quite a while, because it does go back to that question of what is my favorite to play. I do really like the Dilos, and this is the real Dilo, not the Jurassic Park Frill Dino. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Like, it's okay, but I like the taller, slicker, slimmer looking one a little bit better. But I think I have to answer Spinosaurus. I have always been captivated with Spino, and when it comes to T-Rex versus Spino, I lean Spino. I do like the Jurassic Park version of the Spino a little bit more than the realistic. I shouldn't air quote the realistic one. The Path of Titans has a good representation of what it like really looks like. It's got a bit more of a rigid spine in real life, as far as the fossil records go. But I just like the cool spine of the one from Jurassic Park. So that's just the American moviegoer in me, I guess. I really like that version. Fix my little holiday orb here. All right. So the next question here, let's find it, is by Dynamite111. Asks, "What is your name? And if you don't want to answer, do you have pets?" My name is Jacob, but you can just call me Jay. Either works, though. Do I have pets? I do have pets. I have fish. They actually had, unfortunately, a little bit of a mold outbreak recently that I just could not stop. It was very frustrating. So I did lose a lot of my fish that I've had for quite a while. I had a bristlenose Placo for, I don't know, 8-9 years, something like that. He unfortunately didn't make it past the mold, so that sucks, I'll be real. But I do still have a little bit of the kind of, I don't want to call them like leftover fish, but they were the filler fish of the tank. The Placo was the main setup of the tank, and everything else was kind of built around him as far as the ecosystem goes. So right now all I have is some emerald cories and a little top fish that I kind of forget what species it is, because top fish don't live very long, they live about 2 years, so I end up kind of cycling out that school. So yeah, it's, couldn't tell you, a type of tetra, something like that. Dynamite111 also asks, when and why did you first play the Isle? I mentioned earlier when I first played it, around 2017, right? Why did I play it? I played it probably for the same reason all of you guys played it. I saw it, I was like, Dinosaur Simulator? Sounds pretty cool. And then, yeah, I really fell in love with the survival aspect of the game, and the fact that it's a little bit, it's like, it's two sides of a coin. One side of it's arguably boring slash relaxing. I call it relaxing, but a lot of people call it boring, where you're not really doing anything and you're being safe and you're being quiet. And then the other side of it is like a horror game, right? It's terrifying. You got to run for your life. And I guess the third side of it would be like a fun PvP game. But mainly those first two sides of the coins are really what made me fall in love with the Isle, and trying to survive and just relax as a creature is really, really cool to me. And that's why I like all of these games that we've played on the channel. Artemisia, Animalia, Day of Dragons, we haven't played on the channel, but I checked it out, and Path of Titans and the Isle, and amongst any other ones that are out there, we're just kind of surviving as a creature. I think it's a really cool video game niche. Next up is question from three questions actually from Sir Silk, one of our moderators over at the Discord. He asks, what are your favorite movies? So I'm going to be kind of basic with this answer, but my favorite movies are the MCU movies. I grew up loving superheroes, reading comics. I still read comics. Wolverine, Silver Surfer, Iceman, all of the X-Men, really. The Avengers, more specifically like Hulk and Captain America and Spider-Man. I didn't read too much Thor and stuff, but ever since those movies have come out, I've loved all of them. And in fact, a better way to kind of explain how I read comics, give me a second. Okay, this is how you read comics. I'm not a big fan of the old school type of comics where it's just like one issue and then you gotta get the second issue and the third, and they're all small and thin. That's cool that that's like the history of how they appeared over, you know, in history. But the way I read comics is you get the big hardback. Also, if you guys see me looking over here, I'm looking at myself. But I'm getting used to this whole camera thing. Anyway, big old Silver Surfer book. He's my boy. Silver Surfer is easily my favorite superhero, and before the MCU movies came out, Thanos is my favorite villain of all time. He is so cool, and they did not do him dirty in the MCU videos, movies, which made me so happy to see. So yeah, I guess I'm a Thanos hipster, but he was my favorite villain, and Silver Surfer was my favorite hero far before any of the MCU movies even spoke Thanos's name. So you can imagine when I saw him do that turnaround, put the gauntlet on, he's like, fine, I'll do it myself. Woo! I was stoked. I was happy. Happy fan right here. So yeah, the MCU videos, movies are by far my favorite. And if I had to pick one, it's going to have to be probably Infinity War. Endgame was really good, but Infinity War, that ending where you get Thanos and he sits down and he sighs and he smiles, man, that hit me. In fact, okay, I'll be real, I can't find it, but there is a panel somewhere in here where Thanos is sitting on his farm, and it's basically the exact same ending that they have in the movie, and it was spot on. Love it. All right, guys, we have just a few more questions. Next question by Sir Silk is, what are your favorite games to play with your friends? Basic answer, any game my friends are willing to play. I'm the type of person where if I'm playing a solo game and my buddies hit me up to play a game, I don't care what game it is, I'm going to turn off that solo game and I'm going to play with my friends. I just find multiplayer games way more engaging and more entertaining. And so, yeah, that's that question. As far as what specific types of games, me and my friends end up kind of playing MMOs, survival games, racing games, and like general crafters. So we've played a lot of Minecraft. Right now we're playing Icarus, Forza, Divinity Original Sin 2 we've been playing a lot, me and two buddies. So yeah, a lot of games. But if it's a multiplayer game, we are there and we're in, and we're gonna have a blast doing it. And last question from Sir Silk is, what is your favorite animal? My favorite animal, I mean, I guess you could say Brontosaurus, but a little bit more modern, would be a coyote. Now, the reason for coyote is kind of twofold. One of it's a little out there. And the other was a little bit more tangible. The tangible reason is I grew up in California, and the backyard of my house was right up next to a wildlife game reserve. And because of that, there were coyotes, mountain lions, and all sorts of critters out there. So we very often fell asleep listening to the howls and the cackles of the coyotes. And a lot of people might think that that sounds a little eerie, but it's peaceful to me. And I kind of learned to love it, and I grew up with it, right? So it's something that's very near and dear to me. The second, less tangible reason, and I won't get too in-depth with it, is I think it's my spirit animal. And there's a lot of things that I relate to with the coyote. It's a trickster. It likes jokes. It likes being in a pack, so it's sociable with other people, but it's individual as well. It can go off on its own, and it's kind of a little bit of both worlds. And so I like that about the coyote, and I think it resonates with me pretty well on that side too. Okay, the last two questions are Finn again. I didn't do that on purpose. It's Finn again. It's Finn again. It's Finn again. Okay, you get it. He says, "What is your favorite color?" And he does it in GIF question, and that's important for the next one. What is my favorite color? My favorite color is that. Silver. Silver's my favorite color. I really like it, mainly because of Silver Surfer. I also think it looks cool. It's like chrome. It's not as like how do I say it? It's not as like impressive as gold, right? It's not as in your face. It's like, hey, I'm silver, you know. It's cool. It's not necessarily blatant, I guess is the word I'm looking for, as gold is. And so yeah, I've been a big fan of silver. Often can never pick silver, right? People are like, oh no, pick yellow, green, blue, red, right? One of those. Out of those, it's honestly a tie between yellow and green. So if I had to pick, I would probably pick green. But yeah, probably silver, green, yellow, in that order. And the last question today is also, again, from Finnegan. Why do you predominantly use GIFs on Discord? And the reason I primarily used GIFs instead of memes is that I am not a meme lord. I am a GIF Jedi. And the difference is important. So there you go. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you liked seeing this mug. I hope you didn't mind me looking over there or over there all the time. Again, I'm still getting used to it. And I've been staring right here. I don't know if that's weird. I haven't watched it back. Maybe I should be looking up there. I don't know. We'll figure it out together as time goes on. The last update and announcement that I did want to let you guys know is that I am going to be opening up membership for the YouTube side of things. And I really do want to help give back with that. So obviously it's going to be like $5 a month, which helps me out, but I want to bring you guys basically Q&A videos like this once a month for all of the both Patreon members and the YouTube membership members. It's going to be huge, both for me monetarily and for the kind of the backbone of the community of the Sauropod squad. And so if you guys are interested in that, the button's down below. You guys can help support me. It goes miles. Like I said, I'm kind of running off DoorDash right now and really trying to make YouTube kind of full-time. I think I got a few more months, maybe a year or so before I can actually get there. So I'm really hoping that I can kind of lean on you guys to help me out. But again, do not do not throw me money if you yourself need it. This is just if you want to help support me. It will go a long way for me personally. So genuinely, thank you if you choose to do that. But yeah, on top of like the things I want to give back for the members, right? We're gonna have cool things like the Q&A videos. I'm thinking about doing a stream that's just for those members, so it'll be a little bit more intimate, kind of a bold, brash word, but yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more of an intimate setting, right? Where it's just like me and the few people who have chose to help support. So it'll be much more close-knit. Stream chat's not going to go as fast, even though I'm a small streamer. It's not going to go fast anyway. But I hope you get my idea. My point, right, is that it's just going to be the close-knit Sauropod squad and the moderators and admins just kind of hanging out. And we'll I'm planning to do about a once-a-month video where we kind of discuss the past month of information about dinosaur games and everything else we've been doing on the channel. So like right now for this one, if I was to post it on December 31st, we would talk about, everything that happened in December, right? We've got update 4 with Evrima. We've got the growth and the scar and the Megalania update for Path of Titans. Like, Megalania, guys. If you haven't watched that video I made about Megalania, I was smiling the whole time. I'm a big fan of lizards. big fans. So that was cool. But yeah, guys, I want to work with you guys to kind of understand what you guys want to see with the membership program, what you guys want to kind of see from it and from me that's a little bit extra than just hitting that subscribe button. I do appreciate just the subscription, but that step forward will really help everybody get something a little bit more out of the YouTube side of things, right? Both me monetarily and you guys with content. So yeah, help me out. Let me know some cool things. I really want to give you guys what you want. You know, I'll go the extra mile and try to make some cool things like that. And the last thing I want to say, which really should have been at the front, I just now thought of it now. You might have noticed a big change on the channel, and that is the channel name. The channel name is going to be, from now on, J72 Gaming and Reviews, and that's important to me. I really want to add more reviews to the channel. It's one of my favorite form of videos to create. They take a little bit longer, which I think is fine, but they really allowed me to kind of think and pour out all of my thoughts on a video game. Give you guys an introduction, give you guys an example of everything that the game has to offer, and then give you the pros and cons so you can know if it's something that you want to buy or maybe wait a little bit for an update or two to come. Some of the videos that I've already done in the kind of fashion that I want to do is the scrap mechanic, the Animalia videos, the Artemisia videos. So it's going to be first impression videos as well as full-on review videos. And then there's a 20-hour review idea that I did with Scrap Mechanic where I want to review things specifically after 20 hours of gameplay, which I think is a cool, interesting amount of time to play a game where you haven't fully completed it, mostly. It's a small game, but you've played it enough that you really understand the game, right? And you want to, and you know more or less how the game's going to play out. So yeah, J72 Gaming and Review is you probably see right now when you clicked on it. That's going to be the new name of the channel, and I hope you guys appreciate it. I hope you guys understand that that's the direction I do want to take it. We're still going to have dinosaur content, but I do want to expand to pretty much any game that I find interesting. I want the Sauropod squad to be a lover for dinosaurs but passionate about all video games, and that is going to be a trend that I do not want to slow down on, and I do not want anybody to kind of think that the channel should be only dinosaurs. It really needs to be all gaming as a whole to reflect who I am as a gamer, and I hope that the community, that you guys reflect that as well and are interested in all sorts of games here on the channel. All right, guys, but that's going to be it. I got to go edit this and look at my mug for the first time on the editing side of things, and probably learn if I should have actually been looking there the entire time and blinding myself, but hey, it is what it is. I hope you guys appreciate this Q&A. I want to thank you guys for sticking through and watching all of this. It does mean a lot now that I've got this going on. It's gonna be interesting for sure. But yeah, thanks guys. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I have been Jay. This has been my Bronto. This has been my little holiday dangle. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Peace out. This is harder than it looks. Oh. Yeah.